cheaper route for their content. So you open up a metropolitan daily newspaper and it's filled with AP and Reuters content. Well, I can get that in 100,000 places online. What compels me to open the paper to get information I can get online? The newspaper that I get, the Contra Costa Times, I was flipping through the paper one day, and I hit this page, and it's a little one-page tutorial explaining the California state government economic crisis. And it had a little character of this little scrunched-up woman who was the teacher with the pointer in front of a blackboard, and there were really readable chunks, and it sort of guided you through the lesson. And in 5 minutes, I had a good, solid understanding of this really complex issue, and it made me go, wow. Now, if that exact same feature with animation and interactivity had been available on a link that said, learn about the California economic crisis, I would have never in a million years clicked on that link. It was because I turned on the page and the package struck me and made me go, wow, I'm going to read that. And I think that somebody in the newspaper business is going to figure out that the whole newspaper has to be full of stuff that people are going to want to turn to see what's in there. Because it's not the same stuff that you can get in 1,000 places online. Now, is that going to be one of the existing newspaper publishers, or is it going to be somebody who launches a newspaper that doesn't exist yet? I don't know, but you're going to be able to get a paper like that in 10 years. We've got to get back to selling, I'm not a journalist anymore. The business has to get back to selling the package. There is something nice about having the crossword puzzle and the horoscope and the sports all in one package, as opposed to having to remember to click through to, oh God, I missed the horoscope for the whole last week. You know? What haven't I done that would have made me rich and happy? And I get on BART, where everybody's going to work in the morning, and there are 3 or 4 laptops out. Maybe 15% of the people in a car have their cell phones out. Everybody else has a paper newspaper, and we're not talking about only old people. Right? When you're on the subway, it's easier to read. I mean, you know, I have my cell phone out, but how many tunnels do I go through where I lose connectivity? I was in Hawaii about this time last year, and I saw only 3 Kindles out on the beach. Everybody else had a paperback. And that's not because the Kindle hadn't taken off, but if I doze off and drop my Kindle in the sand, I've lost $300. If I doze off and drop my paperback in the sand, I pick it up, I shake it out, and keep reading, right? My view is that print has a place. It's going to be a smaller place. I mean, my mantra is that new media don't kill old media adapt. And the adaptation here is, where is print still useful to people? Where does print still have a strength and a value that you can't get out of something digital? Now, Steve Rubel, and again, I love Steve, thinks that by 2014, all tangible media will be gone or on its way out. And my view is, really? Baseball cards? The little brochures at the tourist booth where you buy your ticket to go out to Alcatraz? You know, nonsense. There's going to be a place. I mean, you can still go buy an LP, right? A vinyl record. Every major band releases LPs because there are audiophiles who like the fidelity. It's better, right? I mean, I can't tell the difference. Too many rock concerts sitting close to the speakers, but there are people who can tell the difference in fidelity between a CD, an MP3, and an LP. And LP is, I mean, the experts know it's best.
It seems like the free hyperlocal, like this thing in the middle here, are doing just fine.
Yeah.
There's, you know, they're obviously having trouble with the economy like everyone else, but they're sailing through certainly more healthily than the big guys.
Right. So they have found the niche.
Yep.
And I think print will find its niche. It's not going to be as big. It's not going to be as profitable, but it's not going to be gone either.
It still means something to go home to New York and buy a Sunday Times and have a cup of coffee and sit there and read the paper in my hand and fold it over.
And then sleep under it.
I looked for the New York Times.
Use it as a blanket.
Well, that's what I mean about the package. I'll read a book review of a book that I had no interest in because I turned to that page, but I would never click to the link of that review. So I think the print publishers who have figured out what their niche is have to be bold in the creation of a package that is compelling in print, or else they're dead. But the ones who do create a bold package are going to have a product that people are going to want, no matter how messy the model for it is.
I've noticed the local paper here, the Birmingham News, has
So,
And about 15% of those comments aren't nasty.
yeah. But it's interesting. I actually like reading those. I mean, I read them online, so I've got it in my hand. I'm going to read it there. I think it's interesting. It adds a different perspective, a little bit more depth to the story in a print piece that you don't usually get.
And you know those regular commenters are jockeying. It's like, yes, I made the print edition.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Pleasure. You're taking video, I'm going to do that too.